Alright guys, welcome. I'm trying something a little different today with Sinking Simulator. And I say that's different. I mean, I've played it a lot, but it's the first time that you'll be seeing me do it on this channel. It's probably been looking like this channel was dead, and that's because life takes us in different directions and gets us busy doing other things. I've got to make my money. But I'd like to look into doing this some more because it seems like just something fun to do and fun challenge. And I find myself often playing games anyway recreationally, so why not share that with others? I don't like this ship, so I'm going to change it to my favorite one, which is this one. It's the SS Gigantic. Ostensibly, I really don't know, the lore, if this game has lore. But the SS Titan here, I like that one, but this one is a larger version of that. It also does some interesting different things when sinking. So anyway, show you how we do with this. If you're not familiar with this game, basically, as the name implies, you sink the ship that you've selected, and you kind of watch it as it is simulated, as the sinking event is simulated. Go figure. I like to increase the depth with this ship because otherwise it will usually make contact with the seabed if you don't, and that will cause it to do funky things, and I don't necessarily like that. It depends what I'm trying to see, but in this case, no. So what I'm going to do is just start a slow leak here. And I find it's fun to do like I say, a slow leak, and then switch my graphics up so that the water is not see-through, and so you can kind of see what it would look like if it were actually on the ocean. Of course, it wouldn't be pixels. You wouldn't be seeing the interior of a ship, the cross section of a ship. While it was submerging. Wow. I'm recording this very late at night. It is midnight. Just turned midnight here. Or we're just past midnight. I'm tired. I have taken melatonin so I can go to sleep. But I just got it in my head that I was going to do this real quick. And here we are. So as you can see, the ship is going down. I do want to speed it up a little bit just because I'm not trying to partake in a slow burn this evening. So we're just going to open up a window there, and we're open up a window here, and unfortunately in goes the water. That's what happens. And so you can see the ship gets lower and tilty, and if you know that reference, you get nothing but maybe a little respect in the comments. If you know what that reference is in reference to, please let me know in the comments. Alright, so now we're getting good visual. The ship is doomed. I don't think we're going to be okay. So she's going down, boys. Yeah. Unfortunately, just make sure you heard me clearly. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that we have any lifeboats today. So that adds a layer to the tragedy. You'll see toward the stern of the ship, under the fourth and final funnel, there is an area that I like to call the Starlight Lounge. It's my favorite area on the ship. So if I were to imagine I was going to go to a place on the ship to kind of hang out and experience the impending doom, that's where I would go. So it's kind of a focal point for me, and I enjoy that. So an interesting thing, if you lower the opacity of the water, you can kind of see what's going on inside the ship, which is cool. You can see how the water is progressing. You can also continue to open up windows, speed up the process a little bit, because why go slow when you can go fast? And you see that, that angle, that pitch, is it a pitch? angle, whatever. It's definitely an angle. It's getting higher with the stern as the front is pulled down by the weight of the water, and eventually we reach peak stress capacity, and the integrity of the hull breaks, and here you go. There it is. There it is. And she breaks apart and falls back into the sea, and now water will really start flowing in, because you've got a big opening. Where there was ship, there is now hull. And so water will flow in. An interesting design of this particular ship is that we can see the bow here descending, but it's that there are certain sections here that are completely watertight. So without intervention on my part, water will never get into certain sections here in the stern, which will actually cause it to invert, and I don't particularly care for that, but it's, it is what it is. When the ships do make contact with the seafloor, they do not fare very well, in my experience. They tend to, kind of blow apart. So that's unfortunate too. And you can see these some of these forward compartments here where you can see there's no entry point for water, so no water is going to get in there. And it'll just take this a minute to sink down. I'm going to open up some more windows though, so we can speed up the process a bit. Water would normally get into these spaces, so I'm not really doing anything that changes the effect too much. Like I said, we're just going to pop these windows open, get some air, and then of course some water. And then, so you'll see these sections here down where the propellers are, and then along the hull, and then this one room, I guess in the engine area. They just don't take water at all unless you force it, and also this one room in the stern. So yeah, it's kind of weird. So like I said, you could pop it and let water go in that way, and she's kind of going down at a weird angle. I don't love that. Once it reaches the seafloor, depending on the impact and all that, that may cause cracks that would allow water to come in, but otherwise it'll just kind of hang out down there with air pockets. So you could look at that as a positive. I personally would not want to be trapped in an air pocket at the bottom of the ocean. So I guess it just depends on your perspective and how you're trying to live. Yeah, so I'm just using my webcam for my audio today. I'm not sure how it's going to sound, so this is a test, really. I love just jumping in and trying things out and see if they work. But I have some other mics and some other options, so if it ends up sounding like garbage, I can switch to something different for future videos. But I'm working on a new setup over here, and so I don't have any other mics deployed yet, but I have them around, so just need to get that sorted out. And again, because of the odd air pocket situation, the stern comes to rest kind of inverted on the seafloor and might actually continue to stay up a bit. Maybe not. But yeah, so that's essentially it. That's the experience of the sinking of the whatever the name of this ship was. What is it called? The SS Gigantic. And I'm sure, I feel like there's probably a real ship by that name and it doesn't look like this. Anyway, whatever. Thanks so much to the people who created the game and the people who created the ship. Some pretty cool folks out here. See you later. Thanks for watching the video.